Hello, this is Zach.
Hey, what's going on, rock star? It's Arrow.
Hey, Arrow, you're the rock star, man. How are you?
You're the one that keeps pumping out these great songs, man.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it.
Oh my God, especially the song Black. What I love about it is that you're really putting that guitar riff out there, and in an age where it's still a little bit too much EDM, but you're not afraid to just say, "Hey, look, we're gonna rock."
I have always felt that guitar-oriented music is gonna come back around again. So why not, right?
Why not be a leader at it right now, then?
I don't care. I'm gonna do it.
What are you feeling from your side of the entertainment industry to where we can start making this move? Because I see that a lot of classic rock stations are changing their formats these days and introducing a little bit more of a newer tone to it.
Yeah, I think it's been a gradual movement, if you will. It's just, I think it takes the right artist and the right songwriting and, the right messaging, I guess. It's weird. We went through this whole period where it's been really nothing but mostly, nothing against, rap or anything like that. But I've noticed that, even country music has become more pop oriented, but even some of the country music I'm hearing has a lot of rock and roll influence in it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's just kind of gravitating that direction. I'm hoping it continues to go that way.
Well, and the challenges that you must have with these people that are addicted to TikTok. I mean, I know as a mobile entertainer, they want out of those songs like within 40 seconds. Go to the next one, man. Go to the next one. So it's like, all right, how do we hurry up and get to that hook so that people will stay with it longer?
Look, like, what's a TikTok? I just don't, whatever, it works for some folks, but I will always believe in old school, which is go out and do live shows and promote your music and try to get it on radio, and I really could care less about streaming, unfortunately, because it's just not, you can have a large number of streams and still only have a small amount of royalty revenue from that.
Boy, that's so true. That's so true. And especially if you're, those that are using the streaming methods for their businesses, they're paying asinine prices. But the thing is that the artist isn't receiving it.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's a travesty. Streaming has really bottomed out the music industry as we all knew it at one point in time.
Yeah. So what has to catch your eye in order to write that song? Where is your mind usually at when all of a sudden you go, uh-oh, it's time?
It depends. It's different. I usually get inspired by an event or a feeling or, something that's happened. In the aspect of Black, that song, it's been it was in the can a long time before I had my producer Skid Mills help me, make it a better song. But I wrote it in the early 2000s.
Wow.
After a tragic incident in a suburb of Dallas, where a woman by the name of Darlie Routier basically killed her 2 kids and then blamed it on an intruder. Cops eventually caught her and she went to prison. She's on death row. But when I was living in Dallas at the time, it was a big deal. And, I wrote about it, and it sat around for a long time. And it's a darker song than most of my other songs. But it was relevant at the time. And it took something like that for me to make a dark song, I guess.
See, that goes along with what Dolly Parton has always said, and that is that writing music is basically a newspaper that comes with a melody.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's a narrative, right? And you are taking your narrative and creating a musical rendition of that.
Wow. So the one thing that I've noticed a lot about a live performance nowadays is I notice that people or fans in the audience are really singing those songs. I love it when people get that much into it. It's more than just, tapping your foot. But but are they listening to the lyrics as they're singing? What are you seeing?
I think they are. I mean, I think especially the ones that they love the artist, they love the songs. They've taken the time to listen to the song enough where they've learned the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have, an emotional bond to the meaning of those lyrics in some manner of speaking, at least. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of folks that actually know the lyrics and know what they mean, and maybe each person has their own interpretation of those lyrics, but certainly that's the case.
I'm also starting to see the air guitar. I mean, people are starting to really get into it. And I don't know if it's because, we are in the roaring 20s and people are just trying to cut loose, but they really do feel like and seem to be, playing with the music themselves.
Well, I haven't seen that much at my shows. Usually they're too drunk.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I've seen that before, though. Yeah, you're probably right.
Do you think we're in a transition period when it comes to rock's history and newcomers? Even though you've been in the business for a long time, you still have that energy to push yourself beyond where the old rockers are stepping to the side.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
And because I think some of these older bands have been able to attract younger audiences. That's a huge thing, because you have multiple generations, for example, that like the Rolling Stones or Aerosmith or, any number of these bands out there. And I think that presents an opportunity because that means some of those folks are more open to music that isn't on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. Best part about making music, what do you enjoy most about it?
I think other than getting out there and just rocking, I love playing. I love playing live. I love every bit of that. I do like writing and performing music that touches somebody, and that I know at the end of the day they love that song and it emotes some kind of feeling in them, and it forms a connection with the fan. I think that's probably my favorite part.
See, your passion is just, it's always so addictive. And it kind of reminds me of what Wade Jennings told me the other day. And he goes, I don't get paid to play music. I get paid to set up a stage and take the stage down and then go home. And it's because it's amazing how you guys are so in love with the performance and just being out there with people.
I love it. Quite honestly, if I wasn't able to perform, I'd be probably on a psychiatrist couch. But it's an outlet, but it really lets you connect with people, and it's just it's so nice to be able to get into that bubble and be able to enjoy making people feel good.
Bringing those lyrics to life in that song, how important is that lead vocalist?
I think it's pretty important.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself the best vocalist in the world for my stuff, but I also, I think that my influences that really made me want to be in music, like, Steve Perry and Brad Delp, and, just amazing singers. I really think that they help tell the story, and that voice is extremely important.
So you're very much involved with the music industry these days. What else are you doing that fans need to know about?
So I'm the CEO of a company called Venue, VNUE.
Yes.
And our biggest ongoing project is a platform called Soundster, SOUNDSTR, which is our platform that hopes to reshape the way that general licensing is done in not only brick and mortar establishments like bars, restaurants, and other spots like that, but in radio too. Performing rights organizations like ASCAP and BMI typically force a blanket license agreement on businesses, even if that business is not playing their music or playing a very small amount of it. And it's antiquated. It's the way they do it is 100 years old, and me being a technologist, I figured that there's a better way to do it. So Soundster consists of a cloud-based platform as well as a little box that you can put in these businesses. and it listens to the music, and we can identify the song when it's played, the artist, the publisher, pretty, hefty data set, so that not only we can have the business owners have an opportunity to take that data and go negotiate a better licensing agreement, but also so that we can help hold the PROs accountable, because we're aware that about 81% of artists that are played in bars and restaurants and things like this are not properly compensated.
Right.
So it's a big, it's a big endeavor, and we're still in the fairly early phases of it. And we've been developing this since 2018, and we've got some commercial deployments happening now, so it's starting to get traction. But the industry needs to move to the 21st century. I mean, you can technically track any type of play that you want to on Spotify or even jukeboxes, but the PROs right now would rather stay old school, because they have basically a $3 billion bucket of money they collect from general licensing that they don't have any accountability for. And we want to help them. We want to help them get the correct artists paid, and at the same point in time, they spend 30% of their budget on collections. That money could go into artists' pockets. So
right.
we have a solution really that'll help everybody.
As a fan of live music, and here in Charlotte, we get a lot of cover bands. Do those cover bands have to pay their ASCAP BMI fees, and would this help out the songwriters of the bands that they're playing? So the bands themselves don't have to pay for the licensing fees. What usually happens is the bar or restaurant where they're playing, they have to pay that fee, and it's usually a really high fee, and it's based on nonsensical things like square footage or number of seats in the building, rather than what we feel like it should eventually be, which is a pay-per-play situation where you have songs that can be identified. We know when they're played, we know who the artist is, and songwriters and publishers, and that's actually tabulated, and then on a monthly basis that would be paid to the rights holders. That's not happening right now. So to answer your question, the bands don't have to pay, but absolutely our technology can help all the places that do have to pay for licensing for music, and eventually we do want to build a pay-per-play model that'll be a lot less expensive and will make a lot more sense in terms of the proper songwriters being paid. So for example, if you look at the way it's done right now, is that most of the general licensing goes to, say, the top 200 touring artists. But guys like let's say just the Eagles, who are a huge band, every cover band on the planet plays Hotel California. There's a good chance that they're not, GMR is not receiving royalties for that work being performed, and the songwriters are not being rewarded for that either. Wow.
And the reason is because PROs have no mechanism to know what's being played, and we solve that.
Wow. Very interesting. Always an interesting story from you. Where can people go to find out more about Black and everything else that you guys are doing? And I want listeners to really get in there and dig in and see everything that you guys have been doing.
Well, thanks, man. So the website is zachbairmusic.com, and that's ZACHBAIR music.com. And then you can also find, the music and everything else on social media. So on Facebook, on YouTube and Instagram, it's Zach Bair Official, ZACHBAIR Official. And we're on every possible digital platform and might make $30 next year from all of them.
Dude, you got to come back to the show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Errol, thanks so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you in my hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Absolutely, dude. Man, this town's growing. You just wouldn't believe how much this town is growing.
It's insane, man. It's insane. It's incredible.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay, sir?
You as well, man. Thank you, Errol. Thank you so much.